This is your 2 News Oklahoma Fantasy Football Forecast.
We're back.
Yeah.
And,
Woo! Welcome!
I won.
You did. You beat me.
Yep. It was a close game between you and I. Came down to last night.
Yeah.
I had Justin Fields as my last to play. You had the Patriots defense as your last to play. So it was a really,
Yeah.
like, each actually relied on one to perform a certain way. And luckily for me, Fields had probably the game of his career.
He did.
Running the football like crazy and just that offense looking the best it's looked with that under that regime
Sure.
so far. And I mean, it's against, the Patriots who
They're
all-
5 defense and then
right.
play fantasy.
The defense is good. It seemed like the offense just couldn't keep up. So that defense was on the field for a long time. And obviously with how the Bears run the ball, probably wearing them down a lot. Patriots went with Mac Jones to start and left him in for a series before going with Bailey Zappi, which looked like the right call at the beginning. Second half,
Yeah.
it was hit or miss.
I mean, the only, 5 quarterbacks ever to work are Kyler Murray, Drew Brees, and that's it. I mean, Zappi doesn't have the height, and you could see the deflections off of the line. He's not Kyler Murray. We know that much. So, and he's not Drew Brees. Man, New England's got some issues to figure out. Then there's some revolting within the locker room now, saying, hey, what's going on here? It's true. When you're a player and you're like, you have a leader and he's not out there and you keep pulling him in and putting him in, yanking him out, it's just not a good look.
And we've talked about it before with the whole, Brady Belichick thing, like how good is Belichick without Brady? And again, another example of, like, I don't know if he thought in his mind, he's like, this is Brady Bledsoe.
Yeah, right.
This is Brady Bledsoe.
bet.
I'm doing it again. And then it just didn't, obviously there's still time, but it is clearly not working out at the moment.
They should have done what they did with, I think, the Cowboys, as much as I hate to admit this, was the smart move. Wait until Zappi crashes and then let Mac be the hero coming in. Even if he does kind of crappy, at least Zappi's floundered and
they put Mac in there and the crowd is immediately chanting for Zappi before the pick even happens. They're immediately chanting for Zappi. Everybody's got signs and shirts and all the stuff in the crowd, and you're like, well, they wouldn't be doing this if they would have had the bad Zappi game already.
Yeah, right. It's so true.
Because those signs probably will not make it to the next home game.
No. It's like Cooper Rush. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, what do we need Dak for? You got Cooper Rush. You got the Philly. Hey, Dak, hey.
Maybe that's what we need. Yeah. So that game happened.
Let's talk about the beating though, the shellacking that you gave me, and that was Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah.
I love Jamar Chase, and that he's not on my team in either leagues. It hurts a little, especially watch him annihilate me.
Yeah, and you unfortunately for you, this was the Justin Jefferson bye week, so you didn't have that top guy to sort of counter those points from mine. I was missing Diggs.
Sure.
But luckily I got the, like I said, I got the Justin Fields game that is pretty rare. And then I've been starting Eno Benjamin, who's been filling in for James Conner, who certainly has been exceeding expectations.
Yeah. So, look, that Chase Diggs combo is phenomenal. In my other league, I've got Jefferson Diggs. So, I know those two together are tough to beat, especially when they're on fire, either one of them. I mean, and that's the cool thing is, 1 week Jefferson can put up 40 and Diggs put up 15 and Jefferson wins. And the next week Diggs puts up 40 and Chase, in your league, puts up a huge amount, and it just balances itself out where each week you're just left, right.
Right. And a lot of that is, especially with Chase and, to a point, Kirk Cousins is fairly consistent. Not super great, but also not terrible.
Right.
Where Burrow can be totally up and down.
MVP-ish?
Right. Oh my God, this might be the best quarterback in the league, or maybe we need to pump the brakes on this guy altogether.
Maybe he's Kirk Cousins again.
Right. And Burrow the last couple weeks has been phenomenal.
He has.
And he threw for 481 yards.
Right.
Which is just absurd.
It's insane. And I had to face him in my other league and Chase. So I do not like the Bengals right now. That's how I feel about him. So Caden and Sager, how did that turn out?
So it was actually Caden was pretty down about it heading into Monday night because I think his only guy he had left to go was assuming he started Ramondre Stevenson, who put up a decent amount of points, but he would have needed like I think 30 or something to catch up to Sager. So he ended up so Sager ended up winning by about 9.
Okay. So that's a big win for Sager.
He was at the point he had to turn his season around, and he's won 3 in a row.
Yeah, I mean Juju Smith-Schuster really helped him. DJ Moore stepping up the plate. Austin Eckler. You know, that's the thing I hate about fantasy. You get the Austin Ecklers of the world, the Jamar Chase, the Justin Jeffersons, who, and I love it. There was somewhere on my team. I get it. But hello, defenses are just.
Oh, it's like this is the guy you need to look for.
Yeah,
this is the guy. If anything, stop this one guy.
Right.
And it just some of these guys, it never works out.
And Bill Belichick did not have a good game last night. His team didn't. But normally he's really good about eliminating that.
Oh yeah, it was always the thing. Belichick's going to take away what you do best.
Yes.
So whether that's a top receiver or your running game or your quarterback,
isn't that smart?
Right?
Why does it?
Yeah, you'd think, okay, last night is tough because what did the Bears do best? I don't know.
Yes.
Last night they ran the ball best. Is that what they tend to be not that good at anything.
Right.
But overall, that's what he used to be known for, and you'd think more coaches would find a way to do that, but some of these guys, it's hard because they're little Swiss Army, like especially a guy like Eckler, who's just a Swiss Army knife. Like he can be anywhere on the field at any time. You can line him up way out wide. You can run him like a traditional running back. Regardless, he's going to get his and be the top running back of the week, week after week.
Right. So let's go to the trade, the big trade last week that Caden just he had trouble with it. He was not happy about it.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where you see a lot of big names going back and forth, and it's a little scary. So you had this trade with Mike Scantlin,
who was 0-6,
right?
Yeah,
yep. He clearly needing a big change for his team.
He certainly did. He was throwing out quarterbacks out there that were shouldn't even be on anybody's rosters in most normal leagues, and so the trade was, and I'm going to read it off to you. It was Trevor Lawrence, Michael Thomas, Chase Edmonds for Dawson Knox, DeAndre Hopkins, and Nick Chubb. In essence, it was Trevor for Nick Chubb. This is before DeAndre Hopkins came in and put up 20 points. I get it. He had a great weekend, but he didn't have such a great season last year. And he's 31 years old, and this is a keeper league, and it's a 2 QB league. So there is a heavy price to pay for quarterbacks. And he was 0-6. The trade happened, and blah blah blah, and I lost, and Mike won his first game.
Right, and sometimes it works out that way. Even with like you got Hopkins, and it was like, wow, how could he get Hopkins as well as Nick Chubb? And Hopkins goes off, but still because of the nature of fantasy, it's going to go either. And we even said like we didn't expect much last week on the show. We didn't even expect much out of Hopkins coming back. Like, how could we know he's going to get, like 10 catches, like right off the rip?
Yeah.
It just wasn't something that you'd expect. I think it's a lot of, when you see big trades happen, in a lot of leagues, like trades like that will get, if you leave it up to like the veto power or whatever, those will get vetoed just because people are like, whoa, look at all these big names flying around. Something must be off here.
Right. And so there's since the Dynasty League, there's a site called dynastyleaguecalculator.com. And, being league manager, I don't want to do anything that's uneven. So you put those in the calculator and it comes out even. People may not like it. You know what? There's a lot of trades I don't like either. I'm a firm believer, unless there's collusion, you let it go. And what people got to do what's best for their teams, and some might not be the smartest, but you know what? That's part of the league. Now,
And I posted the trade on Twitter, and I don't believe there were angry pitchforks and torches outside your house. So I think you made it out okay.
Yeah, I just I do like to keep it fair, though. Even though I think anybody should be able to do their own trades, I do, as the league manager, I feel like I got to uphold a sense of value needs to be fair, so that we don't see any tanking, because it was an 0-6 team. If it was a more competitive team and I felt like I had an advantage, I would have taken it, and that's on them. That's what they felt like they need to do with their team.
Right. And like we said, like when somebody has a team that is an 0-6 or like a 1-5 or something of that nature last week, that was the time to be making big sweeping changes.
Sure.
To try to find a combination of players that's going to work.
Exactly. And being Dynasty, he now has Trevor Lawrence, and who I'm a big fan,
Right.
That was a tough, he did phenomenal again this last week and against a tough Giants defense. And so, with that being said, I when I look for trades as well, I look at what does that person need, and I saw he needed a quarterback. And I have Kyler Murray, and I figured, well, if I can depart to fix my running back situation, if I can depart with the quarterback, then I've still got Kyler to be the base of it, and then I can figure out as we go on to the other. He had no quarterbacks, so one is better than none.
Right. And going along this with trades in the NFL, there were a couple
Big
pretty
ones.
sizable trades. Christian McCaffrey goes to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So all the Elijah Mitchell owners who are hoping that he would come back from the IR and be the starter again, sorry.
Yeah. Or who was riding the pine on
Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so hoping that he was going to ride him to a playoff potential, but yeah, I mean CMC inside, but it really I don't think that trade was the greatest. It was good for Carolina, who's obviously in a rebuild.
And they trade Christian McCaffrey and then go and beat Tom Brady, just like they planned, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
NFL's crazy because going in last night, one more thing, I'll wrap that up for last night's game. It seemed too easy of a slam dunk in the NFL. I was like, oh, Patriots.
Right.
Justin Fields. This is going to be great. I'm going to get a lot of points. But you know what? I even told my friends at lunch yesterday, I was like, it's the NFL. It seems too good to be true. Something's not going to happen.
Oh, if you would have asked me before that game, like, would I have rather been in my position or your position?
Yeah.
If I get the Patriots defense and you get Justin Fields, I would have taken it every time because like you
and
said,
I would have too.
Right, it's a top defense versus a quarterback who turns the ball over and ultimately doesn't put up very many points. That's why he was available before I picked him up this week.
Right, and that's a great pickup. I can't believe he was still out on the waiver wire. I need to pay closer attention but you know what? Deshaun Watson was on our waiver wire as well, and who's coming back up here in just a few. And I don't want to get the politics of that, but if we want to look at just from a pure fantasy perspective, he's going to put up points.
Right.
And so, that allowed me to kick Trevor Lawrence and ride, hopefully, Taylor Heineke, his Heine.
The Green Lizard.
What? Is that what they call it?
I still don't know where that name comes from. But yeah, so that trade happens. Also, combining that sort of on the injury front, Breece Hall goes out for the season for the Jets after having, he's had this awesome coming out party of sorts. Even that game has this long, 60-plus yard run. He gets hurt, out for the season. So the Jets trade for James Robinson.
Woo!
Which, when I first saw Breece Hall go down, I'm like, oh, this is terrible for him. I have Michael Carter, so I'm thinking, okay, well, now I finally have an RB1,
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, later that night, James Robinson gets traded over there, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess we'll see how they use him. If he gets the start, I'll be so bummed.
Right. And then I have Travis Etienne, and oh man, I'm like,
oh yeah, that's the thing. That is the Jags are fully committed to Etienne at that point.
And I love it because earlier in the season, my home league, I traded DK Metcalf for Travis. There was just something. I watched that very first game, and he was just this is his rookie year per se, because he missed all last year, and he was just a little off. I mean, he had a nice potential for a reception touchdown. He missed it, but that was his first game, and I saw this potential, and I'm like, this guy reminds me of a stronger Swift in a way. Yeah. I know that might be a horrible comparison, but just to me, there's just something special about him that he just
when he starts going, it's like, oh, like it's that weird thing with like elite players.
Yes.
Where when they're out in the open field, you're like, oh, nobody can stop this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna shift around everybody.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And he's not as like quick as Swift is, but Gadget, I don't know. There's just there's some comparison I see when I watch both of them. They're special. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little Christian McCaffrey as well. But Etienne, how do you say Etienne? I was
Etienne, I think, is
maybe, I don't want to put him on that level yet. But I think there's a true hope for Etienne to be a stud in this league.
Yeah, and I mean, again, another one of the trades that you just mentioned, trading away DK Metcalf. He's out. He hurts his knee.
Yeah.
No surgery, so they said he could be back later this season.
Did you see him on the cart?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good. Yeah.
Well,
and it's like,
but the announcers, I was watching that live, and the announcer's like, well, last time he did this, he had to go to the bathroom. So
right. Yeah.
he didn't know.
Yeah. Hard to gauge how alarmed to be until that the injury report actually comes back. So with him going out, obviously Tyler Lockett's there. He can take up a ton of those targets. He'll obviously probably get the better corners on him too. So it's tough to do there. And then Marquise Goodwin had a really good game once Metcalf was out. It's hard to say, like, if you're desperate and you need like a flex guy, sure. But
yeah,
but Lockett will be the guy to go to in that.
So
position.
also I was facing in my other league, even facing Chase, Mixon, and Burrow, I was keeping it close. I mean, I was within 8, and I still had the Patriots to go, whatever. And then Kenneth Walker, KW the third.
Oh yeah.
Hits what I told my friend, a walk-off home run fantasy touchdown run. I mean, that was like, that reminded me of that Marshawn run where, boom,
the beast quake.
Yeah. I mean, he was that guy's good.
Well, and that's like, seeing him at Michigan State, he's a guy who will be able to, he's going to keep being that sort of bell cow back. Like they can run him constantly. He can be in there constantly.
Right.
Like, sure, you bring in DJ Dallas here and there, like after Kenneth just runs off like a 30-yarder and maybe he's a little bit tired.
Sure.
Right. But Kenneth Walker is going to be the go-to guy there, and I wouldn't be surprised if once it comes around next season, dynasty implications, if you have this guy, this is a guy you're going to want to hold on to.
Top 5 RB.
Right. And, whether or not Rashad Penny comes back, however healthy he is, Kenneth Walker is going to be the guy.
So rest of the season, who do you want? Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker?
With the way that those offenses are formatted, I would probably take Kenneth Walker.
I would too.
Just
as
because,
much as an Etienne fan I am, I would agree.
Because they are still going to be, the Jags are still going to be somewhat reliant on the pass because of Trevor Lawrence and his potential, and they still have other sort of weapons there where like clearly while Geno's been good,
he's been. I watched that whole game. Yeah, it's because I had a lot of implications in it. I had Geno as a QB. One, he got an unfair -2 points again. I thought fantasy's got to figure this out because he did a nice little toss sweep. He did perfect. It was his great. DJ Dallas bumbled it.
Right.
And it
so
counted
as a fumble against Geno?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he did his job.
You'd think like since DJ Dallas is the one getting like touching that ball at that point. Like if he doesn't even touch it, sure, Geno fumbled the ball.
Yeah. But no.
But DJ Dallas having a chance to get that possession and not getting it.
Yeah. In a perfect pitch.
Right.
It was just like, okay, -2 points. That's how dumb fantasy can be sometimes. They need to revisit that.
Yeah,
but
people can lose on that.
Exactly. And when you were close at that time, I was like, But in all fairness, Geno is he's solid.
Yeah.
Watching him even more, I'm just like, where has this guy been?
Well, and that's sort of the difference between, like, you see some of these guys come in and, like, say for, like, talking Jets quarterbacks, Zach Wilson has had, like, 17 games into his career now. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen anything from him that says this is a starting quarterback.
No.
Where Geno, while he was starting for the Jets, while they were bad.
That team was bad, yeah.
But that's the thing. The team was bad, and
coaching was bad.
He would still occasionally make some plays where, like, oh, this is special. Yeah. Or, like, this takes actual talent to do this. So him being able to sort of bounce around and, have all this time to develop.
Sure.
Which, I mean, you look back like a decade or two or whatever, like that's what quarterbacks did. They wouldn't bounce around, but they'd have the time behind somebody to sit there and develop.
Yeah, that was the old way of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that goes to show, maybe this is the Geno that we were hoping for right out of college, but he just wasn't ready.
You know who needs some of that is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
He needs he's got huge potential. I still see it, and I'm watching that game, but he just still needs a little time to bake in the oven a little longer.
And that's the tough part with all these guys. Like, even Mahomes had a year.
Yeah.
Even though nobody knew that he would be what he became, he had a year. You look back at like Aaron Rodgers had multiple years.
Yeah.
Behind Brett Favre.
Right.
But then, you get Josh Allen, who clearly wasn't ready that first year.
No.
And then
Trevor Lawrence reminds me of Josh Allen, not in the running ability, but in that I remember people were giving Josh Allen the hardest time because he couldn't hit his wide, open receiver 5 yards away.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do it.
Accuracy was a huge issue.
Horrible. And people were like, oh God, this guy. But look at him now.
Oh yeah. like accuracy, non-issue, like absolutely one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. Plus he's got a rocket on his arm.
And a rocket legs too.
Right. Yeah. And so you look at a guy like that. So it's so hard to get a draft and develop a good quarterback now because if you draft a quarterback, there's always the fan base saying we got to start this guy now.
Yeah.
He's got to go in now. And even the coaching staff, like with Trevor Lawrence, it was a no doubt. It was like, oh, he's going to start.
Yeah.
First game. And whether he's ready or not, that a lot of times in this league now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They need to see what they have in them. So other injury news, Amon-Ra St. Brown went out with what they thought was a concussion, turns out to not be, and I think that sounds like a sort of overcorrection of the whole Tua thing. It seemed sort of like they were...
Did you hear what it actually was, though?
I don't think I heard what it...
I can't remember the term for it, but it makes him seem... There's a medical term for it. It's not... It's some muscular spasms where it makes him look like he's... I forget what it is, but it was, like you said, it was not a concussion. But I faced him this weekend, and I hope he has one of these spasms again.
Right, yeah.
Especially in the first quarter.
Enough to keep him out.
Now, I know you don't. Let's talk about the Lions going into that a little further. You know what? I feel like when they're not at home, they're just not.
Dan Campbell hasn't won a road game.
It's weird. When they are away, it's like they're not at home. Oh, I mean, obviously, they're not at home, but you know what I mean? They're not in their comfort zone.
And, it took a week like this, and this is sort of the reason why I do not emotionally invest myself in this team. Because especially with, and I had started to because there was so much hope coming, and part of that is the Hard Knock stuff.
I get it.
And then, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's just a guy that you love to root for. And still, he's made his mistakes, and I still, I like the guy.
Yeah. And you've got offensive juggernauts.
Right. And
that can't stay healthy, but,
And then you see Jared Goff fall back to earth.
Ooh.
And, there's a saying in Detroit, SOL, and it's not what you think it means. It's same old Lions.
Oh, yeah.
So Goff puts up a whopping 1.52 points, 2 picks, 2 fumbles, just a disaster. And I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they had a bye week last week, and then the week before that they were the Patriots, got blown out by the Patriots. Goff was terrible in that one, but I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because Belichick has historically had his number.
Right.
But coming into this one, I mean, sure, it's Dak's first game back, so you think, okay, maybe he might have some rust on him. And Dak didn't have a great game. He was just fine.
Yeah.
It was really the Cowboys' running game that was keeping them in it. And then they get that goal line drive, and they don't review what was probably a touchdown that got them to the 1. And then Jamal Williams fumbles on the 1. And then the rest of the game is just...
Right.
You're falling downhill,
right.
Which has always, historically, for the last decade or so, has been Lions football, is that you're just waiting for that first bad thing to happen, and then the sky is falling.
Sure.
And everybody is just going out of their minds, which is crazy when you think of how many different pieces are in and out of there.
Yeah.
How does that culture stay?
Yeah.
But...
Well, you're right, but they get Miami at home, so they're back in their comfort zone. Amon-Ra St. Brown will be out there. I don't know what's up with Swift. He's an enigma as well.
There haven't been that many updates since he was originally coming
which
out.
is never good.
Right. Yeah. That makes you think like, okay, this is something that they're going to pop up and say, oh, he's out.
But you know what though? Why didn't they put him on the IR, short-term IR, or whatever IR is these days? So maybe they were hopeful, and then maybe had a setback because he was supposed to come back after the bye.
Well, and they were even saying last week heading into this Cowboys game, it was he's trending toward playing.
Yeah,
which I mean is really just nonsense talk. But but when you see it, you think okay, so he's close at least. But then there's never any confirmation.
Yeah,
and a lot of these players they'll be trending. Like Keenan Allen was trending towards playing for weeks, and then finally played this last weekend.
A half.
Right.
Yeah. And then they're like, that's. He said Keenan to that said he didn't feel like he could run. He didn't want to push full speed just yet in the second half, so they just said, hey, hang out. He didn't have a setback supposedly. But going back to the Swift, if you're a Swift owner and you're playing him this week, and I play against him, but I would not play him. I mean, think about the snap count he's going to be on.
Right. And just the way
injury risk.
And the way that the Lions could easily fall behind in this game because of how explosive Miami is.
Yeah.
If they fall behind early, Swift isn't going to play the rest of that game.
Why would you risk it?
Right. One, you're risking his injuries.
Yep.
And two, you're probably throwing the whole time if you're really down bad.
Right.
And while Swift is good at catching the ball out of the backfield, it's going to be all Amon-Ra, Josh Reynolds, those guys.
So let's talk a little more in depth. I know we don't want to go this forever, but let's talk about Swift. I had drafted him. I had him for the past 2 years, and I got rid of him this summer. I know we've talked about this at length, and I'm not trying to drag this on, but secretly deep down, I really love Swift. I mean, he's a special player.
When he's healthy, he is awesome to watch.
He is, but man, his career, it's not good.
No, he doesn't have the consistency. Every time he has a good stretch of games, it's only like 2 games, and then he gets hurt.
He does. And remember, was it last year he got hurt in practice with a concussion?
Right.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's the most bizarre things you could think of.
I'm going to start calling him brittle bones, and it's unfortunate. But you know what? If he can stay healthy, he's elite. But
and they need that Lions team. If Jared Goff is going to keep being the guy, they need it.
Yes,
they need that explosion out of the running game because Jamal Williams is serviceable, but he's not DeAndre Swift.
Right. And I'm not fully sold on Amon-Ra St. Brown just yet.
Yeah, it takes a quarterback to get it to him, and while Amon-Ra is good,
he's good.
It only takes a couple games for a defensive coordinator to look at how he's getting open every time and adjust.
Right. Amon is the tight end that Jared Goff can trust, and that's where he's getting all his points. You get another quarterback in there, he's not going to be doing the little, dink and dunks with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Whatever. That's just my bias. If you're a Lions fan, you're lucky to have him. I mean, hey, it could be a lot worse. But what?
It has been a lot worse.
Williams comes out soon.
Supposedly I haven't seen any updates on him. I keep checking back and forth, and they haven't said for sure if he'll play, because the original plan was they're going to come off the bye.
Yeah,
they'll play the Cowboys. Either he'll be back the Cowboys game or he'll be back versus Miami. And there's
and I did read the report that he would suit up here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but I wonder if they think, okay, we're just not there yet. So Swift, take it easy.
Yep.
Let's buy one more year. I mean, this is what they did last year.
Especially just with the way that the team is trending with the losing this.
Are they
going to
make the playoffs?
Right. Initially, like when that offense, the first 3 games, when it was like, this might be the best offense in football.
Yeah.
And they were scoring like they were the best offense in football. And then you get to what has been the last 3 games, and it's been, disaster, injury, everything after everything. And, everybody's calling for, like, there are people calling for Dan Campbell's job. There are people calling for every coordinator's job. Obviously there's calls to get somebody in there who's not Jared Goff, but that's the backup situation. They have Nate Sutfield. That's not going to work. And any trade you make is not going to put you enough, not going to improve you enough to, win the division, make the playoffs, anything.
What they're doing right now is going for that top pick.
Yep.
And that's what they need. A game-changer QB, which there are.
Like a Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Like that sort of player is what they need.
Yeah, and that takes weight off of Swift.
Yep.
You get your rookie receiver. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, and they got T.J. Hawkinson out there.
Yep. And this defense, Hutchinson was figuring, despite the offensive struggles and the defense as a whole is not good, but Hutchinson was figuring it out.
Yeah.
The last game, because before he was getting a lot of pressures, but it wasn't sacking the quarterback.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson was totally getting back there and sacking the quarterback this last game, and he's been figuring it out, which gives you hope for this defensive front going forward with, obviously Malcolm Rodriguez is all of a sudden their best linebacker, which, how could you have guessed that before the season? But
which is great for us.
Right. Yeah.
And we're not look, reason why we're spending so much time on Lions is because there's a lot of fantasy potential there. And I think it would be smart to just, Swift, take your time. Next year is going to be our year with this new quarterback coming in. I mean, because we're 1-5 right now. Mm-hmm. They ain't going to do anything, and they got Dolphins, which are going to be 1-6 after. Right. What if you get what if you get Swift out there and he tears his ACL in the next couple weeks? Then you got him out this season and most of the next season.
Right. At that point, I don't know what his contract situation is, but at that point, I don't imagine you plan on bringing him back whenever that recovery process would end, because by the time it ends, either he's out of contract or you've replaced him or you've found some other way. You spend so much time without somebody, you learn to fill that hole.
Exactly. Another thing to say, that's kind of like Breece Hall getting injured. Not only is he missing the rest of this season, but now he's not going to be ready to start next season. Because, look at J.K. Dobbins, who got injured in training camp of last year and still isn't right. Mm-hmm. Gus Edwards, who finally just came back, which is, if you haven't picked up Gus the Bus yet, that's the time to do that. So I've talked enough. I know we need to go into our pickup and stash questions for the week, because that's what it is. It's waiver wire.
Oh, it is. And so when it comes to those, there's not a lot of, but at this point, you kind of know who the main guys are. Like all of the guys who are going to consistently perform, these guys are taken, right? Mm-hmm. These guys are on benches or they're in starting lineups already. So there are a couple guys who are sort of on the rise with some other injuries coming out, with Cordell Patterson still out. Tyler Algier for Atlanta it was wonder whether he would be in a timeshare of sorts, but he sort of took the lead this last game. 11 points isn't a lot, but it's enough it's better than a lot of people's other options given bye weeks. And
they are a running team. It's like they're allergic to throwing.
That's right. With Marcus Mariota out there, I might be allergic to throwing too.
Yeah, but you're not going to win.
No, that's true.
I put Rattler, or not Rattler. I mean
Ritter.
Ritter. Yep. Put Ritter out there and give him a chance.
Yeah, and with the bye weeks this week, I mean, running back wise, it'll be really because the Chargers are on a bye week, so Eckler, managers will be looking for a hole to fill, and then Kansas City, obviously, there's so many fantasy implications with them being out or on a bye this week.
Isaiah Pacheco reminds me of was it Gore last year?
Yes.
Remember? Yep. He was like, oh man, this is gonna be great. Yeah. Then Gore is nowhere in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just totally off the map after seemingly, earning a spot last season.
And he had incredible games. Pacheco, look, he looks like a beast, but I think he was a 7th-round pick for a reason.
Right. You don't even, especially with that offense too, it's so inconsistent with how they're using the running backs. You don't even, it's worth, if you're really desperate, you can grab him. Maybe just stash him, see what happens with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who they're clearly using a little bit less.
Exactly. And McKinnon, who they're using a little less, too.
Right.
Why McKinnon's still out there, and why are they use Pacheco and as the bulldozer, and then allow Helaire to be the receiving back and just call it a day? I don't know.
Right.
That's a little, I say it's a little unlike Andy Reid. Back in the day, he loved he had Deuce Staley, Corral Buckhalter, and another some other guy that was a third back as well. And he loved using these 3 backs. But Corral and Deuce were phenomenal, but these guys, I don't know. Clyde, I gave up on him.
And then I put down OBJ because you keep hearing more and more about his eventual return.
Yeah.
Which, what are you getting when he comes back after all this time not playing football? And
look, if he was coming back in 2 weeks, pick him up. I think the delay till mid-December hurts any potential because you're in the middle of the playoffs. What are you going to throw OBJ out there in a final?
Right. Yeah. Like at no point are you going to be sitting there like, oh, at waiver wire by the time you're in deep into the playoffs, unless there's like some can't miss guy, you're not hitting the waiver wire for your starting lineup in the playoffs.
Yeah, and if you are, you ain't winning.
Right. Yeah, then you're probably in trouble.
Yeah. And you're probably not in the playoffs.
Right. You probably didn't make it in the first place.
Yeah. But I mean, I can understand emergency situation, but and maybe if you're in a dynasty, you pick him up, hold him.
Right. If you have room on your bench and you can stash him, sure.
But now he's 31.
Right. At this point,
coming off a torn ACL.
If you have other guys to stash there, you stash them because he's not going to contribute to you in a way that helps you at any time soon, if ever, this season.
And last thing I'm going to say is I'm not buying into the Juju craze. We think we've got many years of buying into Juju craze, and it always fails you in the end. So buyer beware of Juju. If you can sell him high right now because you got the Chiefs offense are going on buy, that's going to help you out this week. Ship him on out.
Oh, yeah.
And I will eat my words here in a couple weeks if I have to.
And with Mecole Hardman as well, who went crazy this last week, but any of those Chiefs wide receivers, you can't really buy into them.
No.
Because it is a Kelsey run offense.
Yes.
and anything else is just supplementary.
Amen to that.
So we will be back next week with really the playoff picture starting to come into focus, right. And hopefully we'll have Caden back. He is out doing his sports duties.
Yeah. He's a little busy.
That's right. He's a one-man show at the moment.
Right.
So he'll be back. We will be back. Mike Collier,
woo, woo.
Ryan Love. We'll see you next week.